Under the dim light of an oil lamp in the wooden cabin, Tu Diep sat silently at the wooden table, tears streaming down her face after James left. Her heart was in turmoil, like a storm. He had been rehearsing a sweet proposal she couldn't bring herself to face. The secret of her pregnancy loomed like a shadow, filling her with confusion and fear. In this episode, Diep finally confesses the truth to James, just as he resolves to propose and confront his suspicions about her condition. But can CEO James accept Diep amidst the swirling rumors and painful crossroads their love is being pushed toward? In the pale morning light, bees buzzed softly around the little garden in Tanmin village. Tu Diep walked along a narrow dirt path leading into the woods. Her worn-out rubber sandals slapped against the dewy red earth. Step by step, her footprints marked the soft soil. Rays of weak sunlight filtered through the tall trees above, dancing across her thin, tired face. Her eyes were red and puffy from crying all night. Dry tear stains lingered on her sun-darkened cheeks. She wore a patched-up, tattered shirt that fluttered in the wind. The early spring chill crept through its thin holes, making her shiver. Her frail hands trembled slightly as she clutched an old cracked bamboo basket. Despite the emotional storm inside her, a small spark of determination flickered as she thought, "Today I'll pick papayas. I have to sell them for some money, just to forget about being pregnant. Even if only for a day," she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible, like a breeze caught between birdsong high in the trees. "Today, I'm going to harvest papayas. Come with me, won't you?" But deep down, fear still screamed within her like crashing waves, dragging her into darkness. How could I be pregnant? What would James think if he found out? We've never even been together. Then whose baby is this? She walked slowly, her eyes glancing at the dew-covered bushes lining the path. The trembling leaves seemed to mirror her shaken soul. Her heart felt unbearably heavy, as if she were carrying the weight of a sky with no way out. Every step was an effort to forget, yet each breath yanked her back into fear. He's always been kind to me, but if he finds out, will he leave me? What am I supposed to do? She lowered her head, messy hair hiding the tears on her cheeks. Her footsteps echoed in the quiet like the offbeat rhythm of a lost heart. I have to keep going. I can't stop now. But why does everything feel so heavy? As the sunlight faded behind the canopy, her small figure disappeared deeper into the woods. Brave, but fragile, carrying a secret without an answer. A few kilometers away, at the company's small office in Tanmin town, James sat in the middle of a staff meeting. Dim sunlight slipped through the cracks of the old wooden windows, casting long streaks across the round table. The dust particles on the surface shimmered in the light. A gentle spring breeze stirred the reports laid out before him, creating a soft rustling in the otherwise quiet room. He wore a grey jacket, stained with dirt from working at the farm. His strong hands rested calmly on the table, but his eyes gleamed with quiet resolve as he began the meeting, his deep voice firm and commanding in the small space. Today, we are expanding agriculture, construction, and services. Let's go over the reports to see what we've accomplished and where we're headed next. Tao, his petite secretary in a faded blue sweater, stood up with a thick stack of papers. Her voice was clear and steady. "Sir, this year we harvested 30 tons of ginger, 5 containers of oranges, and an estimated 65 containers of pomelo for export. Total yield is 300,000 tons. Revenue at 112 billion VND, with 30% profit after labor costs." James nodded, his eyes scanning her, his voice deep and precise. "That's after all costs," she replied confidently. "Yes, sir, all costs accounted for." He gave a faint smile, a brief hint of satisfaction. "Good work. You've done well." Mr. Son, the media lead, stood up, tall and lean in a white shirt. His confident voice cut through the soft wind whistling past the window. "Media's doing great. We've hit 70 billion in revenue with 50 billion in profit after expenses. We've got collabs with top singers and KOLs, especially on TikTok." James nodded, his eyes lighting up at the numbers, but just as quickly his gaze drifted. He remembered Diep's pale face from the day before. A chill ran through him. She was nauseous, dizzy. "Is she okay?" She told him it was just exhaustion, but something didn't sit right. He couldn't focus. His eyes wandered from Son's report. His voice slipped out unconsciously. "Diep, are you okay?" It was barely audible, lost in the moment. He wasn't even listening to Tuan, who was now reporting from the wood factory. "High profits this year, 30 containers processed, over 30 billion in returns, steady supply from the hills." James gave a distracted nod, his voice distant. "Good, thanks, keep it up." Son and Tuan exchanged a puzzled glance, but no one dared ask. James sat there, heart sinking. "Is she all right? I need to see her today. I can't leave her alone." Meanwhile, Tu Diep stood deep in the forest near Min village. Soft morning light shimmered through the trees, dancing on tall papaya plants heavy with golden fruit. She gently lifted each ripe one, inspecting the smooth skin under the weak sunlight, as if drawing hope from their glow. Her old rubber sandals crunched against dry leaves on the narrow trail. She picked carefully, scanning for the best ones, placing them gently into her fraying bamboo basket. Pick the ripest ones, sell them for a good price. I need to survive today. Forget the pregnancy, just for a little while. The rustle of leaves and distant bird calls surrounded her. She looked up, her red eyes tired as she stared at the still green fruit above. I'm exhausted, but I have to keep going. James doesn't know. I don't want to worry him. She carried the full basket to Min market. Her footsteps were slow on the bumpy red dirt road. As she arrived, the crowded market buzzed with voices and the earthy scent of fresh produce. She placed the basket near Mrs. Hoer's vegetable stall. Her eyes lit up as she arranged the golden papayas on a tattered sheet, softly calling out through the noise. Fresh papayas! 2 kilos for 15,000. Come get some. 2 older ladies nearby, plump in brown alba bark tops, whispered just loud enough for Diep to overhear. Diep's been sick for days. Nausea, vomiting. She's probably pregnant, poor girl. No one to take care of her. Di flinched like someone had stabbed her. Her hands trembled around the papaya she held. She bit her lip, fighting tears. They're right. I can't deny it. But why does it hurt so much? She kept arranging the fruit, a fragile smile forced onto her lips as a customer asked, "Is it sweet?" She nodded. "Yes, it's very sweet." She sold out. The crumpled money stuffed into her pocket felt like a small victory. She whispered to herself, "At least I have enough for rice today." But her heart still weighed heavy as she walked home. The sun dipped behind thatched roofs, sorrow clinging to her like a shadow. At the little wooden house in Min village, Tu Diep came home after a long day. Her muddy sandals left prints on the red earth floor. Faint light from the late afternoon filtered through cracks in the door and shone on the rickety wooden table where she set down a basket of eggs. A brief sense of relief passed through her. I sold everything. I bought rice. But why does my heart still feel so heavy? She heard a soft knock at the door. Looking up, she saw Tung, an old friend of hers and James, standing at the gate. Tall and lean in a faded blue shirt, his eyes held concern behind his warm smile. Diep opened the door, her gentle voice breaking the silence. "Tung, long time no see. Come in, I'll get you some water." Tung stepped inside, the oil lamp casting flickering light on the table. He sat on the old bamboo chair and smiled. "It has been a while. How have you been? You've lost weight." Diep lowered her head, hands clutched tightly in her lap, eyes sad as she poured water from a dented kettle into a chipped cup. Her voice cracked as she whispered, I'm pregnant, but I don't understand how. I've never been with James. I'm scared, Tung." Her tears welled up again. "I said it, but what will he think of me? Will he leave me?" Tung looked shocked, voice low and worried. "Are you serious? How is that possible? Are you okay?" Diep nodded, voice trembling. "I don't know. I'm so lost." Tung stood, troubled. "James has to know. He loves her, but what's going on?" He left in a rush, his steps quick on the dirt road. Fading sunlight cast long shadows behind him as he drove straight to James's office in Min. Entering the room, the overhead light highlighted his tense expression. James was just wrapping up the meeting, sitting at the wooden table. Tung called out, "James, do you have a minute? You need to hear this." James looked up, surprised. "What is it?" Tung took a breath, voice firm. "Diep says she's pregnant, but she swears you two never, you know, she's terrified." James went pale. A storm rose in his heart, his eyes darkened. "She said that? But how? That's not possible." He stood up suddenly, gripping the edge of the table. "She's pregnant? That can't be. Never. What's going on?" He made a decision, voice calm but determined. "I need to see her. Thanks, Tung." He left the office, emotions swirling. "Diep, what's happening to you? I need to know the truth." James arrived at Diep's house just as twilight painted the sky in grey hues. His Ford Raptor stopped at the gate, red dust still clinging to the tires. He stepped out, worry etched deep in his face. As he opened the creaky wooden door, his heart sank. How could she be pregnant? I need answers. But I won't let her face this alone. He walked in. The oil lamp glowed gently. Diep was sitting at the worn wooden table, her face pale and thin. He approached, voice warm and full of concern. "Diep, how are you? Tung told me, are you okay?" She looked up with tear-rid eyes, then bowed her head. hands trembling in her lap. Her voice cracked. "The doctor said I'm pregnant, but I don't understand. I've never been with anyone. I'm scared, James." Tears streamed down her face. "What will he think of me? Will he leave?" James sat beside her, heart racing but eyes gentle. He grabbed his phone and called Dr. Vin, his voice urgent. "Vin, it's me. Is nausea and dizziness always pregnancy, Diep's like that?" Vin answered calmly. "Could be, but it could also be weakness, low blood pressure, stomach issues. Don't jump to conclusions. Get her checked properly." James nodded, feeling slightly relieved but still uneasy. He turned to Diep, placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, voice warm. "It might not be pregnancy. Maybe you're just exhausted. You've been working too hard. Don't be scared. I'm right here." Diep looked at him, tears still falling, but something in his voice calmed her. "Maybe it'll be okay, but what if it's true?" James stood, his eyes filled with purpose. "Let me help around the house. You need rest." He walked out to the garden. The faint light gleamed off rows of green vegetables. He grabbed the old watering can, pouring streams onto the soil. "No matter what, I'll be here. She's not alone anymore." He headed to the kitchen, lit the stove, the scent of rice rising from the iron pot. He fried eggs, washed vegetables. They sat down to eat under the oil lamp, simple dishes laid out on the worn table. His heart warmed as he looked at her. "Whatever happens, I still love you, Diep." He smiled. "Eat. You need to stay strong." Diep nodded, comforted. "He's not leaving me." As Diep confesses and James comforts her amid doubts, will their love survive this test? In episode 47, James's father returns after hearing the news, bringing a whole new challenge for the couple. Don't miss it.
Chậm rãi nhưng đầy kiên định. Cuộc sống cô, một người phụ nữ từng bị gò bó trong đau khổ, giờ đây đã có chút ánh sáng nhờ sự xuất hiện của CEO Jam, người đàn ông giàu có với trái tim ấm áp. Nhưng khi tình yêu thương đã tưởng chừng đã chạm đến trái tim cô, một bóng đen từ quá khứ lại hiện về, kéo theo những nghi ngờ và nỗi sợ hãi. Liệu trái tim Diệp có đủ dũng cảm để đón nhận hạnh phúc, hay cô mãi bị giam cầm trong chính những vết thương lòng không lành? Câu trả lời nằm trong những giờ khắc cảm xúc của tập 13 này. Chúc các bạn nghe truyện vui vẻ. Diệp đứng giữa cánh rừng thưa, nơi những chiếc lá rong xanh mướt rủ xuống như những tấm rèm tự nhiên. Ánh nắng đầu ngày xuyên qua tán cây, chiếu lên khuôn mặt cô những vệt sáng mờ nhạt, làm nổi bật đôi mắt trầm buồn. Hôm nay cô quyết định đi hái lá rong để bán. Một công việc đơn giản nhưng đủ để cô cảm thấy mình còn giá trị trong cuộc sống đầy bất ổn này. Trong lòng cô, một ý nghĩ lặp đi lặp lại, như tiếng gió rít qua rừng. Cô cần tiền không chỉ để sửa sang trang trại mà Giam đã cho cô ở nhờ, mà còn để chứng minh rằng cô có thể tự đứng vững, không còn phụ thuộc vào sự thương hại của bất kỳ ai, kể cả anh. Cô bước đi, tay cầm chiếc cùi tre đã sờn cũ, đôi chân chai sạn đẫm lên những chiếc lá khô kêu xào xạc. Mỗi bước chân là một lần cô tự nhủ rằng mình phải mạnh mẽ, phải quên đi những ngày tháng bị hành hạ trong căn nhà cố bao. Người chồng cũ từng biến cô thành nô lệ hơn là một người vợ. Nhưng khi cô cúi xuống nhặt từng chiếc lá rong, hình ảnh Giam bất ngờ chợt hiện lên trong tâm trí. Anh đã xuất hiện như một tia sáng giữa bóng tối. Cô kéo cô ra khỏi địa ngục ấy bằng lòng tốt và sự kiên nhẫn. Vậy mà trái tim cô lại run rẩy, không phải vì hạnh phúc mà vì nỗi sợ hãi rằng tất cả chỉ là sự thương hại. trá hình. Diệp dừng lại, tay nắm chiếc lá rong đến mức nó nhàu nhĩ. Cô tự hỏi liệu mình đang tự dệt nên một giấc mơ không có thật. Giam với dáng vẻ lịch lãm của một CEO giàu có và cô, một người phụ nữ nghèo từng bị chồng ruồng bỏ, hai thế giới ấy làm sao có thể hòa hợp. Trong sâu thẳm tâm hồn, cô khao khát được yêu thương, nhưng nỗi tự ti như một bức tường vô hình ngăn cô lại. Cô thở dài, đặt chiếc lá vào gùi, rồi tiếp tục bước đi, mang theo cả hy vọng lẫn hoài nghi. Tại phiên chợ nhỏ của thị trấn, Diệp bày bó lá rong ra một góc đường nơi dòng người qua lại